is Elsen Price, and he is going to play bass.
Yep.
And I have to say, I'm very pleased he is, because he's hot, and not just his music. So what I'm going to do is introduce you to my show, Wild Red Heart, which is a set all about love and the many different ways of love there are. The first poem is called The Vegan Dominatrix. Anybody here like a little bit of bondage, dominance, submission, 50 Shades of Grey, which I have to say is rather a lame book, because the reality is so much more fun. I love it when you wear PVC. You really get me down upon my knees. I love the way you tease me when you wear PVC. I'm wearing PVC just in case you didn't recognise it. I love it when you wear fur. It really makes me want to purr. I want to touch you here and there. Caress the pile of your fur. I love it when you wear pleather. It really gives me so much pleasure to find your secret hidden treasure when you peel off your pelt of pleather. I love it when you wear fake snake. It really makes me shiver and shake to see those moves reptilian you make. So sinuous in fake snake. I love it when you wear those shiny vinyl boots and put your heels in my cahoots, especially when you wear your polyester pinstripe suit. Oh, let me lick those vinyl boots. Oh baby, please please me, enslave and torture me. For you I'll even eat tofu, and that horrid tempeh too. My vegan dominatrix, oh baby, you're the only one for me. After I wrote that, I actually met a vegan sub.
Yeah.
She's coming to visit me from America pretty soon.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. But love isn't always a game. Sometimes it can be a little bit fraught. You said to me, you wear your armour like your toughness like armour to hide your tender and vulnerable feelings. Take it off. I want to see you as you really are. So here I stand before you, raw, peeled, skinned, like a newly malted soft-shell crab, ready for you to batter me, fry me, and eat me. Like a newly ripened melon ready for harvest. So you can slice me, dice me, peel me, juice me, squeeze me, spitting out all those chewy pips and sinewy bits you can't digest. You want to see me as I really am? I don't think so. Sometimes love can be a little bit of fun if you want to take a little walk on the wild side.
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
Yes.
That's as far as I go. This is a poem about desire. I ain't dead yet and I still feel the fire. It's a blessing, it's a curse. Knowing you makes it worse. Things change. Things can be strange. Dance with a stranger and what you get is danger. Danger, danger, stranger danger. You're not a stranger, but you are a danger. I know you like the same things as me, but I don't know how you feel about slam poetry. So you text me and we talk about phones. Phones and change, phones and age. The years go by, nothing is the same. Stream, wind up, VoIP, Skype, Bakelite, wireless, satellite. Now I own a piece of the galaxy. Space age, space junk. Phone sex, sex text, sexting. Is it art? Is it smart? Does anyone give a fart? 2 a.m. and the message is still flying. I know what you want and I know what I want. I want danger, not with a stranger. I want. I know what I want, and what I want is phones, art, sex, and you. You know what you want too. You want me to give up my beautiful life, stop being a wife and get into strife, tempting me down into the depths of the ocean where the mermaids sing and you'll never hear a phone ring. I hear those mermaids singing each to each while you float gently just out of reach. Are your trousers rolled? Let them unfold. I will unfurl my seaweed hair beneath the sea, as in space no one can hear us scream. Are you worth it? Are we worth it? What I know is worth it is phones, art, sex, and you. Sometimes love can last not quite a lifetime, but you can hold the torch for a very long time indeed. And this is a little story of inner city love. "25 years ago, way back in the overexcited 80s, Jake Butel met little babe showgirl Douce La Sucre after the legendary second concert of the Jared Hayne Experiment at the Hopetown Hotel. After one passionate night of love and a late morning bacon and egg breakfast at the Ocean Cafe in Elizabeth Street, they parted, vowing to meet that evening back at the Hopetown. Douce never appeared, and Jake, heartbroken, never forgot her and lost all desire to perform with the Jared Hayne Experiment. Tonight, at the 25-year reunion of the Jared Hayne Experiment, Jake finds out the truth as to why Douce never made that second date when she appears, looking only a little worse for wear, for the return of her once favourite band. Unknown to Jake, Douce was married to Roberto Amaretto, owner not only of the legendary Hopetown Hotel, but closer to home, the Golden Fang Chinese restaurant and all the other buildings as far as the Imperial on City Road. Roberto had acquired this real estate to launder money from his other, more clandestine dealings as leader of the Jackals, the now defunct motorcycle club. He spotted Douce performing while collecting rent from the Bodenweiser Dance Centre, where she was the star in training. They married at St Barnabas Church on Broadway before it burnt down, obviously, where the Reverend wrote a hopeful message on his board: "Amor vincit omnia, love conquers all." To which his rival, Arthur at the Broadway Hotel, replied sadly but more truthfully, "Fear vincit amor." Remember that, it's a sad truth. Douce hoped for Broadway lights, but Roberto could only offer her the local lights of Broadway in Sydney, then a down-at-heel boulevard of broken dreams. Burke Street, the location of the Hopetown, was little better and certainly had even less parking. By the time she realised her mistake, it was too late. And the prophetic words of Arthur at the Broadway came to haunt her as she dreamt of Central Park in New York City while pulling schooners behind the bar of the Hopetown in between shows. Douce missed the first performance of the Jared Hayne Experiment at the Hopetown. She dismissed them scornfully as just another bunch of urban cowboys and took the night off to give her feet a rest. When the boys from JHE came to the Hopetown for the second time, Roberto told Douce to be the warm-up act. Hot with fury, she kicked up her heels and kicked off her gear and then settled down behind the bar to sneer at the upstarts. The rest of that evening you already know. The next day, When Deuce returned to the Hope Town after her breakfast with Jake, Roberto was waiting for her, not as she expected, with a rolling pin or a Magnum 45, but with tears in his eyes, whiskey in his hand, and an ultimatum on his lips. If she left him for Jake, he would ensure that the Jared Hayne experiment would be aborted, by which he meant Jake would be run through the meat grinder at the Long Pork Small Goods Factory, another Jackal's venture, and sold as mild Hungarian salami to the unsuspecting. Deuce knew that she could counter Roberto's threat by threatening to call the Australian Taxation Office about his offshore affairs and bottom of the harbour schemes, until she remembered that she was the co-signatory on all those dangerous documents. And there was no one to look after little Nicky, her Shih Tzu Blue Heeler Cross, who followed her everywhere and was pretty good at warning off the more forward punters at the Hope Town Hotel, but went right to sleep under the bar when Jake came over to order a quick one off Deuce. Deuce had no choice. She couldn't put up, so she had to shut up, but her silence had a price. Roberto had to break with the Jackals, liquidate his assets, and move with her to New York City for one glorious attempt on the real Broadway. If only Deuce had realised that Times Square is on Broadway too. Roberto was killed by falling debris while walking past the Twin Towers on 9/11 and was acclaimed a hero. Deuce sold the last of her pride to return to Sydney, where she lived quietly, giving ballet lessons to sweet but snotty toddlers, until a certain poster caught her eye: the Jared Hayne experiment. She knew what she had to do. You can't turn back the clock, but you can stop it from ticking. But Jake had moved on too. Although he'd sworn never to love another woman, he had never sworn never to love at all. And this is what happened next. You've heard of the love that shouts from the rooftops, and the love that dare not speak its name, except in Newtown or Balmain. Here's a new one I'll try to explain. The love that does not know its name. We look related, he and I, with the same colour hair and the same colour eyes. I'm a little taller, he's a little younger, it balances out. We bicker like noisy miners in our jacaranda tree, and between us drain dry the vineyards of 4 states. He drives on the wrong side of the road and neglects the handbrake. He thinks I am too cautious. I know he is too careless. Years ago, when I went travelling with a different man, people would raise their eyebrows when we shared a room. Now, they raise them because we don't. Their eloquent expressions ask the questions they are too polite to voice. What's wrong with you? Are you not speaking? Are you married to other people? Is this the make-up trip that's not working? You can't fool us. We know what you're really up to. For 10 days we cross the sullen, sodden southern forests and endless sodden coasts of southern Australia. Look! There's a koala! Pissing on a German tourist. Do we really need to see all 3 caves? Needing no other company but each other, we are never bored. I never wash anyone's laundry but mine, but he takes mine moist with leaky female fluids and washes them with his without a qualm. I gently sort his holy undies, chiding him, real passion killers, you'll never get lucky with those, and ensure his grubby socks turn snowy white. Our dirty little secret stays, unwanted, unwashed, at the bottom of the laundry basket. He's a fag. I'm his hag. I hate those words. They sound so 50s, so closeted, so out of date, so not who we are. I don't want to share you, he says. If a straight guy said that, it would be romantic. Cue violins, double basses, and heavy breathing. But he says it, and we're both confused. You're not my mother, sulking like a petulant 3-year-old. He's right about that. I'm on the road to escape from my kids. We share little snippets of love. Dude, babe, sweetie, honey, mate, darling. Finally, we work it out. Heart's brother, soul's sister. We wash our human stains away, so our love is pure as angels.